everyone, my name's Josie and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, welcome. Don't forget to press the subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. So as most of you know who have been following my channel for a little while, I used to be a cruise ship singer and I did 7 years on cruise ships, which is quite a long time to be on ships, considering that you're away from your family for really long periods of time. My mum calls it living in the bubble because it is a little bit like Big Brother. It's like this own little world and you kind of forget about everything that's going on outside. Anyone that follows my channel that works on cruise ships, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I wanted to talk today about a few of the ways that you can get sacked from a cruise ship. Now obviously, like all jobs, you have your standard ways, not turning up to work, not doing your job very well, etc, etc. However, cruise ships can be quite strict and some of the rules are a little bit bizarre. So I thought I would just explain a few today and talk to you a little bit in detail about some rules that you might not be aware of that the crew have to follow when working on a cruise ship. And if you don't follow them, you might get sacked. Now, depending on your department and what you do on the ship, you have different privileges. Now, me as a singer and part of the production cast, I had really good guest privileges and I was allowed in passenger area and mingling with the passengers. I was allowed to eat in the passenger area, drink in the passenger area, etc, etc, etc. However, one of the rules that we had was when in passenger area, you must not be in groups larger than 4. Now that's quite a hard rule to follow, especially if you all sit down and there's 4 of you and then one person comes along on their own. They can't just sit and join you, they have to go and sit on their own because they cannot join you because you are already in a group of 4. Bit of a stupid rule. And you may not necessarily get sacked over this rule, but if this behaviour continues, then you would definitely get a disciplinary, which could lead to being fired. Another thing that you have to be very careful about when working on a cruise ship is your cabin. Now, on a cruise ship, they do cabin inspections quite frequently and there's quite a lot of rules. You must have your bed made. Now, me being very messy, often forgot to do this, and I did on one ship get called for a meeting with the captain because my cabin was too messy. Now, luckily I didn't get sacked, I just got a warning, but I mean, it's not like we're in the Navy. I'm singing on a cruise ship. I didn't make my bed and I had to have a disciplinary with the captain. Surely he's got better things to do than tell me off for not putting up my bed sheets. So it's not just the messiness of your room. You're also not allowed certain electricals. You're also not allowed food in your cabin, apart from things like crisps and things that are packaged and aren't gonna go moldy and horrible. One ship, we weren't allowed any alcohol in our cabin. However, no one really pays attention to these rules. And when we know that there is a cabin inspection, the majority of crew on a ship will run around their cabin like headless chicken, hiding everything that they have, hiding their electricals, hiding your hair straighteners, hiding your humidifier, which I always used to have on a ship because the aircon can really dry out the room. So having a humidifier which just pumps a bit of water into the air really helped me as a singer keeping my voice in good shape for the shows in the evening. But I had to hide down the cabin inspection, so that would go in the cupboard. On the ship we weren't allowed alcohol, all my wine and beers would go in the cupboard. I mean, they know everyone's got it, they're just not allowed to see it. Another rule, this one's taken quite seriously, is the consumption of alcohol. Yes, you are allowed to drink as a crew member. However, you are always on call because you have a safety position on the ship if there ever is an emergency. So if you're obviously wasted and like rolling around the crew deck, then if an emergency happened, you would not be fit to do your duty and therefore you can get fired. Because of this reason, they would very often do unannounced breathalyzed and alcohol tests. Now, I was breathalyzed 3 times on one contract. And for those that know me, I do like to let myself go in the evenings now and again, and I do enjoy a glass of wine. One time, I remember absolutely bricking myself because I'd had a very heavy night the night before, and I was pretty certain that I was probably still over the limit. This is when it can kind of work in your favor when you work on ships to kind of get on with all departments. It's very easy to upset the wrong person on a cruise ship because you work in such close proximities, and because of that, if someone doesn't like you, depending on their departments, they can make your life a bit of a living hell. Luckily for me, on this certain ship, I really got on with the security team, and I went in for my breathalyzer, did the little breathalyzer test, and I don't know what he did, but he clicked a button and showed me it, and it said 0.00, and he was like, "You're clean, off you go." And I was like, "Thank you." And as I left, I'm thinking, no way, no way. I still feel a little bit drunk. I'm definitely over. I'm pretty sure he probably saw that and just went click, got rid of it, and was like, "Yeah, you're fine." So that just goes to show that it's good to make friends with people and be in the good books of people. But I do know, and I have had friends that have been fired on ships for being over the limit. Another thing that can get you sacked from ships, and I have known this to happen, is people getting too friendly with the passengers. You are not allowed in passenger cabins. Yes, you can socialize with passengers in passenger area. Actually, most of the ships I've worked for really strongly encourage that because it looked good. They like to talk to the cast. It helps the ship in general generate more sales. But I do know people that have gone back to passenger cabins, even had relations with passengers, and if this is found out, you will get fired. Another way people can get sacked on cruise ships is by missing their all aboard time. So in case you've never been on a cruise ship, when you dock in port, you can get off, have a little explore, and you are given a time to be back on the ship because that is when the ship is going to leave. If the ship is leaving at 6 o'clock, the all aboard time is usually 5 o'clock, an hour before. So it gives time for everyone to get on, the captain can make sure that everybody's there, they're not missing anyone, and then they can go on to the next port of call. So obviously, if you miss your all aboard time, you can get the sack, and I've known people to do this, and I've known people to have to fly home. If this happens, they will leave your passport at the dock, and it is then your job to get yourself home. The ship will not pay for it at all, so if you're from the UK and you miss the ship in Hawaii, you've got to get yourself home, which kind of sucks. Now obviously in my department, because I was entertainment, there are also rules in entertainment that can allow you to be sacked. If you are not maintaining yourself vocally and physically, then they can sack you. I've known people had disciplinaries and been very close to getting fired because they had put on weight. I've known people to get fired because their vocals weren't strong enough and they were struggling to sing the shows. I've known people to get sacked for being a little bit unprofessional and mucking around in the shows and just not being all round the best performer that they can be. And these reasons can all be very upsetting, but unfortunately that is the industry that it is. You do have to keep in shape, you do have to maintain yourself, you have to look after yourself physically, because it's a very competitive industry. There is always someone willing to step in who will probably do the job just as well, if not better than you. So, that's kind of a little bit hard, but anyone out there that's a performer that watches my videos probably knows that if you want to be a performer, you've got to make sure you are always on your top game. Now, by making this video, I'm not trying to put anyone off auditioning for a cruise ship or going to work on a cruise ship, because it is an awesome job. You get paid to see the world. I mean, what more could you want? But it is quite strict. But as long as you respect the rules and follow the rules, then you should be absolutely fine. Anyway, please let me know in the comments below if you've enjoyed this video. If you would like more videos of me talking about my cruise ship experiences, then please let me know, because I did it for a long time. I got a lot of stories. But anyway, I hope you're all doing well. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're enjoying my videos. And I will be back very soon. Take care, everyone. I hope you're having lovely days. Bye for now. Bye.